Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You must begin something if you hope to finish it. Something that takes a long time to finish begins with one step. Today we are going to learn a poem, Why. This is a poem about a small boy who is very curious. Curious to ask questions about the everything and anything he is looking at. So let us move on with the poem Why. Why? I know a curious little boy who is always asking why. Why this? Why that? Why then? Why now? Why not? Why by the why? He wants to know why wood should swim, why lead and marble sink, why sun should shine and wind should blow, and why we eat and drink. He wants to know what makes the clouds and why they cross the sky, why sinks the sun behind the hills and why the flowers die. Some of these whys are not too hard to answer if you will try. Others no one ever yet has found the reason why. So we have come to the end of the poem. So in this poem there is a curious little boy. Curious boy means a boy who is very wants to know answers for many things. He wants to keep learning. He wants to improve his knowledge. He's very interested to know why this is happening, why that is happening. So this is called as curious. So he is very eager to learn new things. So he's keep on asking questions. Why this? Why that? Why then? Why now? Why not? So he is very curious to keep on asking at looking at different things he is seeing in his day-to-day life. So everything and anything he sees, he is asking a question. So this is what the poet is telling in the first stanza. In the second stanza, he is giving examples of the questions he is asking the people around him. So the first question he asked was why the wood should swim and why lead and marble sink. Now see if in the next slide we can see he is trying to look at doing his own experience and seeing why this is happening and why not. So here he is trying to float a wood in a water, and when he's throwing the pebbles or marbles means small stones. So when he's throwing the pebbles or marbles inside the water, it is sinking. So he's asking question why? Why is the lead and marbles are sinking in the water, and why is the wood floating in it? See the wood, it is floating in the water. So why this is happening? He is very curious to know the answers for the things which is happening by nature in the atmosphere around us. So coming back to the poem, the first question he asked was why is the wood swimming and why the lead and marble sinking. The next question he is asking is why sun should shine and wind should blow. So why is the sun shining and why is the wind blowing, he is asking. And why we eat and drink. So this is the third question he is asking. Why we have to eat, why we have to drink. So these are some of the questions he is asking us. Next in the third stanza, the boy, he wants to know what makes the clouds. So how is the formation of the clouds, how they are forming, and why they cross the sky, and why they are moving around in the sky. This is the question he is asking. Next question he asks is why sinks the sun behind the hills and why the flowers die. So why there is a sunset, why is the sun getting set behind the hills, and why there is a flowers are dying. So after few days the flowers will die. So these are the few questions he is asking in the third stanza. Now coming to the last stanza, if you see, some of these whys are not too hard to answer if you will try. So the questions he is asking, for few questions we can answer, and the few questions what he is asking are not answerable. So why things are happening we cannot say. By nature, few things are happening, like the sunrise and the clouds, the movement of the clouds is all something related to nature, and it is being related to God. So we cannot predict why it is happening, or we cannot give reasons to that. But few things like why there's wood is swimming in the water, why the lead and marble are sinking inside. For few things, such questions are being answerable. So people can answer such questions. So here the poet is saying that in the last stanza, that few questions are hard to answer and few we can really give him and the answers, the reasons for the questions he is asked. Others no one ever yet has found the reasons why. So for the few questions about the nature, we cannot predict why it is happening, or why not it is happening. We cannot predict the answers. So this is about the poem about a curious boy who is looking at the nature and asking few questions around, looking at everything and anything he is looking at. So this was about the poem, and in this poem we have seen few hard words, new words like curious. So I have given the meaning about the curious. Lead is a thing which is found inside the pencil, it is called as lead. And marble means small stones or the pebbles we found, that is called as marbles. Sink in the sense something which goes inside the water, that is called as sink. If you put a pebble or a stone in a water, what will happen? It will go inside the heavy things. Whenever you put it in the water, it will go to the bottom of the surface. So that is called as sink, going inside, sinking. Next word we see is reason. Reason is to understand why it is happening, the answers for the questions we ask, that is called as reason. Why something is happening, that is called as reason or reasoning. So these are the new words that you have learned today in this poem. I hope you enjoyed this poem. We have come to the end of this video. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.